Let's have a game with happy and sad music. When you hear the happy music, play your rhythm sticks, or clap, just as you did before, like this.
Greetings, we are Anonymous. Over the past few weeks we have experienced several gruesome attacks by members of the Islamic State of Syria and Iraq. These attacks have left the American people questioning their government's ability to protect them. On December 6, 2015, President Barack Obama addressed the nation for the first time since 2010. His words were no comfort to the American people. Rather than focusing his attention on the current threat from ISIS, he thought it better to further shred our Fifth Amendment rights. Perhaps the president believes that we are naive. While he uses terror to push gun control, this has only provoked the American people to acquire more weapons, more quickly. Bravo, Mr. President, you have officially pissed off the American people. Mr. Obama claims that gun control will make it harder for terrorists to kill, yet he forgets a simple fact. Terrorists do not mind breaking the law. They will acquire the weapons they need by any means possible. Furthermore, by creating a shortage of firearms, this may cause terrorists to seek alternative options that may be far more deadly and increase citizen casualties. And for a moment, shall we mention a Department of Defense and Department of Justice report from 2012, in which the United States shipped 500 sniper rifles, 100 RPG launchers with 300 rounds, and approximately 400 howitzer missiles to Syria. These shipments were sent from the port of Benghazi, Libya, to the port of Borj Islam, Syria. Is it a coincidence that the special compound happened to be in Benghazi out of all other locations in Libya? Or have the American people finally learned the truth behind Secretary Hillary Clinton's special mission compound, in which U.S. Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, Tyrone Woods, and Glenn Bordy were killed by Islamic terrorists in September 2012? And let us pretend for a moment that the weapons were to be shipped to Syria for U.S. purposes, as the weapons were sold at market, according to a report issued by the Department of Justice and Department of Defense. How is it that the United States government misplaced such a shipment of weapons, and yet you suggest stripping the American people of the right to bear arms, when you can't even keep your own out of the hands of terrorists? And furthermore, the president has indicated that the ownership of firearms is a matter of national security. Is that what this country has come to? Lawful citizens are punished for the acts of terrorists the government let slip through the net. It seems to us that the government has continued to fail on our behalf, which we pay them handsomely for, while they continue to work on increasingly disturbing legislation. There is a revolution brewing the likes of which this country has never seen. Turn on the television. There is chaos in the streets. Law enforcement officials continue to oppress the people. The president and his administration continues to burn the Constitution. The government continues to hide crucial information about its actions. ISIS continues to harm citizens in all parts of the world with weapons courtesy of the United States. The United States government and the White House continue to deny any and all fault. The president insists on investigating when the terrorists in San Bernardino turned into homicidal extremists. What purpose does this serve? Shouldn't our resources be spent on trying to locate other extremists in the country? Or perhaps what actions are being taken abroad to ensure others are not plotting against us? The president made a declaration of war in his speech against ISIS. We find it quite odd he made such a remark so late in the game. Was he not informed of the attacks in Paris, or did he simply shrug it off? Perhaps the advisors to the president at the White House should be dismissed, as the president will never own up to the actions of his administration. 14 people were killed in San Bernardino and 17 were injured. These were not only U.S. citizens, but brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, friends. These people had names, and our government failed them. California is one of the strictest states on gun control. Had even one citizen been allowed to carry a firearm, the situation may have played out much differently. The evidence is before your eyes. Gun control does not stop violent crimes. It only limits every lawful citizen's right to defend themselves against such violent acts. The terrorists who committed these attacks also had pipe bombs. Why is the president not addressing the sale of piping? After all, a pipe is nothing but a tool for terrorism. And duct tape. Shall we limit the sale of duct tape to 1 roll per customer? The point we have been trying to make is quite clear. The government and the president would be better off using formal addresses to the nation to focus on the steps being taken against ISIS, not for propagating illegal legislation against U.S. citizens. We look forward to the president's next address and hope he will offer something beneficial to the American people. This is not a political race. Use some humanity and help the American people which you have all sworn to protect. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
We are Anonymous. We are Legion.